Hey everyone, I have Dwight Stall here. We are right before the Hasbro panel, and I got a few questions because I need some answers. So Dwight, we're seeing Spider-Verse come back into the comics with Spider-Geddon.
Yep.
Or is it Spider-Geddon? So a lot of people from our Northern Collectors website wants to know, with that Spider Bath that came out, are we going to see maybe a penny to go with it?
No plans for a penny to go with it, but we do have a penny in our Spider-Verse line supporting the Into the Spider-Verse movie coming out in a couple of months. So with Into the Spider-Verse coming out, which looks friggin' amazing.
So good.
As well with Spider-Verse coming back to the comics, I think you guys are going to be very pleased with us having the doors reopened to re-explore that universe and give you more of the characters that you didn't get the first time around, as well as some of the new ones. Marvel literally just this week sent us some precursors as some of the costume designs and some of the new characters. So they're excited about it too, and they're giving us some fresh looks that we're going to try to figure out what we can do with.
So people are asking for the Renew Your Vows. Are we going to see some figures, maybe a 3-pack, something like that?
That could definitely be. That comic has lasted for quite a while, right?
Yes.
It's been out for, I'm not sure how many months, but I know it's been more than a year. And going strong. I like the idea of having some of those alternate universe characters. I think that's a kind of a cool costume for MJ as well as their daughter, which is just kind of fun. A spider girl with a crash helmet is, and shoulder pads. It's cool.
It is cool.
No plans, but I'm totally open if the fan fever is there to look into doing some of that stuff.
So I have another question. I talked to you about this in San Diego, or was it Tony? I don't know, one of you guys, but Runaways, Season 2 just got announced.
Okay.
Is Nico going to get some friends to run away with?
Maybe a raptor or some things like that.
Well, I heard a raptor may have been in production somewhere.
Well, I'm totally into that. I love the new comic book series as well to go along with it. The relaunch of that has been really good. I think there's a chance that we can do those characters. It's just finding the right home for them. The tough spot is, unless we're doing, as you know, a lot of our waves are focused on theatrical events or big books like the XMen. Runaways is obviously it's a smaller title in comparison to those, but with the traction of having a Season 2 coming from television as well as a comic series, I think it'd be cool to get more of those characters in the mix.
Maybe a Chase with a vehicle, Old Lace, but only if Chase has a man bun. Because of the man bun fever in the Marvel Legends line.
You gotta have
strong.
the man bun. Well, we got Hercules coming.
We saw that.
He's rocking one of the best man buns we've ever seen in action figure form. So that's a good start.
Pretty great. All right. So positive reaction with the Archangels, you guys released at San Diego, like you guys talked about. Pre-orders going up everywhere. What are your thoughts on more deluxe figures?
That's a very good question, and we're actually taking that to the team and trying to figure out what else we could do with that. If that became a new assortment or a new segment, what would go in there? I've actually tasked one of our designers, Bobby, to think on that. So he's seeing what he can come up with, and we're working on some ideas, and we'll start pitching some stuff soon to our management and see what works and what doesn't work. But as of now, it's just a one-off. But we are exploring if that could be a segment going forward.
Well, I know us Canadians, we pre-order it like crazy, so hopefully something comes down the pipes. So, I've been bugging you for 2 years straight about Emma Frost.
Yeah.
We need an Emma Frost, an updated one.
I've got three. I was gonna say two, but I have three superhero women of my heart. We got Betsy, we got Jane, and we got Emma. Those are my three girls. So I love Emma. I hope that we could get one of her more modern takes out there to you guys.
Black costume.
Black costume's cool. I like her new white costume now that she's back in the books again after her not hiatus, but she was in hiding for a while.
A little bit.
So I think Emma's great. I think some of the costumes are more difficult to do than others of her. Some of her classic stuff is probably much more challenging to do in this day and age. But some of her more modern stuff, I would love to take a crack at it.
So speaking of modern, we're getting a lot of X-women who are getting into some new modern costumes.
Yep.
Jean Grey and now Psylocke back in her original body. Any plans on those?
Psylocke's back in her body?
Yeah, she's back in the Caucasian body.
Oh, okay.
Nice purple hair.
All right.
Purple hair.
I love Betsy and all of her soft purple or body armor. Those were cool costumes for me, because that's when I really got into comics. So I didn't even know that. I'm a little bit behind in my book reading these days.
She literally just went back into that body last week.
Oh, okay, well then I'm not.
Spoilers, sorry guys.
Then I'm not too out of the loop.
Yeah.
I love Betsy. I would love to do that. I would love to do her in her Mandarin armor.
Ooh.
From when she first transitioned over. I think that'd be a cool one.
That would be
too.
really cool.
Classics, moderns, whatever. I'm open to it. Apparently I got to do a little more reading to get caught up.
Just a little bit. Just a week's worth. That's
okay.
all.
All right.
All right. So our favorite teleporter. He needs some, some spice on our shelves. He needs to bamf on it.
All right.
Can we see some Nightcrawler action?
Possibly. We're trying to chip off some of those characters that you haven't got yet, right? We got Apocalypse out this year. We've got Gambit coming next year. There's a few other ones on the docket that we haven't got to as well.
Oh.
Beast hasn't had a figure in quite a long time. Nightcrawler hasn't had a figure in a very long time. So both of those are, some of the bigger tier characters that we're trying to find a home for in upcoming waves.
Is it possible if we do get a Nightcrawler, he could get a bearded alternate head to go with that alternate head Colossus that had a beard?
Well, there's a lot of different versions of Nightcrawler, right? You have Swashbuckler Nightcrawler, you have the classics, you got the bearded one.
I mean, you could solve all those problems with some swords in that pack and an alternate head.
There you go.
Done.
All right, fair enough.
There we go. All right, so we're getting into a big X-Men year next year. We see New Mutants getting released, hopefully, and Dark Phoenix. So what about some X-Force or New Mutants love? Are we going to see any of those next year, maybe in 2019?
It's all open for exploration.
Exploration?
Oh. I love all those books. Many of you know X-Men is my favorite piece of the lore, so when you go into X-Men, X-Factor, X-Force, X-Mutants, all of that stuff is really cool stuff that I hold dear and in my heart. So I love finding opportunities to do that with me and the whole team. We all work on trying to figure out what the right balance is. So I think you'll see some of those characters that we've discussed today. Maybe one or two of them trickling out in the near, not too distant future.
What about a giant muscle man in pants?
Oh no, he's banned.
He's banned? I think he's banned.
Yeah.
Right.
You know who you are. You banned him from me. He's out. He's out for another year.
I think Comic-Con this year kind of banned a lot of figures. We were a little bit rowdy, so I apologize for that.
No, you don't need to apologize for anything. And obviously he's not banned. We're just trying to figure out a spot. I think he has to be built a figure size, or maybe a deluxe size, if that's a segment that goes forward. So
I have another question. So Black Panther 2 wave.
Yep.
Loving it. I bought a lot of the Nakia figures, going, I need to army build this. Are the heads for the new Dora figure able to fit on that Nakia head? Or is it something...
It should. It's the same neck. It's the same upper torso that was used on Akoi and Nakia. So if there's the same torso, I think they're different. I think they're slightly different.
I think they're slightly different, but they still fit on each other's.
Then you should be good to go.
Okay, perfect.
You should be able to mix and match and put her on a little bit more updated costume. Once again, the first versions were done based off of concept art, and now that we've seen the movie, we know what the true colors of what the Dora's outfits are. So for this new Dora Troop Builder, we have a little bit more film accurate costuming colorization, and then as well as the alternate heads.
So you guys teased Surrey at Comic-Con.
Yes.
My beautiful, I think that's a Surrey. Sorry, Surrey's from Vancouver, so Shuri. Any word on her, where she might be?
Still no word on where that lovely little lady might appear at some time in the near future.
All right, so my last question. So we're seeing a Captain Marvel wave, maybe potentially coming out next year with a movie. Is coming up for sure next year. She had a team she led, the Ultimates, with Blue Marvel and America Chavez. The only two Legend figures we need to complete that team. Any possible slots they could go into?
Possibly. She also has a tie into the Marvel Rising animation, as well as American Chavez. So you're seeing those characters kind of get more well known through pop culture, through fandom, which everybody knows them through fandom, but as well as kids and other people are getting into those characters. So yeah, we could definitely look at some of those characters coming out, and some of them are great because they're not very difficult for us to do. Right, Blue Marvel wouldn't take much effort to get that character made and out.
The Hyperion buck, and that's all you need.
Yeah.
All right, so I have one little question. If you could sum up 2019 in one word, what would it be?
Marvelous.
Oh, I like that. Anyways, thank you.
Is that too lame?
No, I think it teases us just a little bit, but we'll get more probably from this panel today. So I thank you so much for letting me interview you today.
Hey, of course. Thank you guys for coming out. This is a treat for us. This is the first time we've been able to make it up to the Fan Expo in Toronto. We're having a great time. We hope many of you guys can make it to the show. For those of you who can't, we hope you like the reveals that we show later today. And we'll hopefully see you guys down the road.
Anyways, Dwight. Thank you.
Sure thing. Bye, guys.